That Fridah Kirema that has just been mentioned is our guest for the next 1.5 hours. She is a road safety champion and she joins us now in the studio. Talk about the wheels of strength, redefining ability and what it means. Fridah, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
We fix the nation one conversation at a time, and all conversations are important. What we've had, what we are about to have. We've had conversations around disability and inclusion, and we like to look at it from various aspects. I mean, do we really understand what goes on and what we need to do, what we need to understand?
Right.
Fridah, you have been on a wheelchair for several years now, since 2012.
Yes.
What happened?
My journey began before being now rendered that I'm told I'm a person living with disability. But the most term that we use these days is the word people who are abled differently. That is the terminology that now it's being carried, trying to shift it away from people living with disability. My journey began before 2012, where I embarked on the journey, was because I was so much involved in youth leadership, fighting for leadership in Kenya through, we used to call ourselves Youth for Leadership. We are the Gen Zs of 2007. We used to do a lot of demos, a lot of rioting. That time, fighting for the youth to be included in parliament.
Right.
Then I just came up with, before we launched the new constitution, I came up with an idea for my company to start. Before I go further, let me say I'm an administrator at Nation Media Group. So being a company which is a media house, I propose that we start highlighting the people who are coming in, the governors, what are their manifestos, what are they going to do for our society. And then that is when now we decided, okay, why don't we carry this? This is a good idea. Then we teamed up with the NTV team and went back on the journey to sit down and come up, strategize on the idea. And our journey was on 28th April 2012. We said we had a function in Kilgoris with my team, the NTV team. They said after this function, we sit down and strategize on your idea of highlighting the manifestos of people who are coming in with the new constitution. Apparently, you know, God is the owner of everything. We did not reach the journey at my Mayu. As a year, is that we had a tire burst and then we got an accident. It rolled and I was lucky to have survived because honestly I don't remember the day because of the impact of my injury. I had several impacts. I was told that, you know, those are the people who are dead, keep them aside. Me, I was among them. And lucky enough, a gentleman just reached out and touched me and saw this life, and they took me in the pro box and then took us to hospital. And with my colleague, one of my colleagues also who became like me, Paraplegic. Then they lifted us from the accident. And now came the shock, you know, after a few days in hospital without knowing where you are. You are told your injury in the head was here, but now the most one which will change your life and which will give you a different status is the spine injury. Unfortunately, I had a severe spine injury, which rendered me paraplegic, and that's how my journey in disability started. That's I can say that is how I ended up there.
Did you continue with your political journey?
I will tell you after the acquisition and I became paraplegic. First of all, you have to know the challenges which come in. First of all, you are in shock. Your person who is used to be dependent on yourself, running, doing your own things. You had dreams, aspirations. Then all of a sudden you are told, you know, now you can't even walk anymore. You are dependent, or you are totally dependent mostly. In my case, that time before I now started to know to live with my situation, I was depending on people, you know, totally, whereby your productivity at work, in every way, at home, at work, I'm a parent, you know, almost goes to zero before it picks it up. You start now learning to live your situation. So when you talk about my political journey, Yes, because the mind, when I gained back my memory and my mind was okay, the aspirations are there. They
came
still
back.
continue, they come back. But now I kind of shifted from the political angle, although there are still times you walk. I went into now focusing on why has God put me here?
Right.
Perhaps for the voice, that time was youth. Perhaps now it's the voice for the most, I don't call them marginalized, the most vulnerable in the society. People living with disability.
Right.
That is how where I am now.
I'll come back to the language, but just to speak to the recovery, how long, and I use the word recovery lightly because it could be a lifelong recovery. It's adjusting every day, it's things like that. But yes, how long was recovery after the accident? And at that time, like, how did you cope physically and mentally as well? Was there psychosocial support as well? Because you're healing your body and trying to heal your body, but is there also support for the mind?
The body, first of all, in shock. Because I told you, mobility becomes, you don't have mobility.
Yes.
You don't know, the things you used to say, give me that cup, I have to tell somebody, assist me with it. It came to that. So when you talk about support, the recovery for me from hospital, it's like a long-term journey. Because even if I came from hospital after 3 months, after 1 month, I'm told again, you have to go to hospital. If I tell you the number of surgeries I've had after that, I'm still ongoing, and some are waiting.
How many have you had?
I can tell you, if back 2 hands, I think now I'm on my 10th, and I'm still awaiting.
Another?
I'm waiting others. I can tell you others, my knees. I'm still waiting others. And it is a journey that you have to look. You don't know tomorrow,
right.
First of all. It's a journey. But what amazed me and enabled me at that time is the support that came in. First of all, let's say my family.
Yeah.
My family, they never, that is the part where it's most important. Family, please, because sometimes people run away from you. I will tell you, when you are in this situation, give it 10 years. You will come to know who are your true family. Because you can have a family, but your true family can be
nowhere
one person.
To be seen. Yeah.
My employer, who has stood with me from day one, they never let go. My friends, I can say my friends, and even the support system of the people who are also disabled. They advise you, okay, we got this, this is how we go about. So we form a network on that. So I can tell you're affected physically, psychologically, emotionally. You are affected. In many ways you are affected. But what I will say for me is the fact that since I was a mother, that is what helped me. And my son had not even reached 2 years and 6 months. So I did not have time to mourn because they had not even gone to baby class. He looks at me, he's still expecting.
Yeah.
He does not know I'm still, what is happening with me. So I had to go to school. Mom, you are waking up. Mom, you are going to school. I have to look for school for him. So the fact that there was something that I was looking to, and I never gave up, it gave me the motivation, the willpower to continue. But I won't tell you, it does not affect. I wouldn't say that I'm strong enough, because at some point, there's the mental, it starts to break up.
Yeah.
And you are torn between, do I go to the depression point? Because it is very easy to go to the depression. For me, what almost took me to depression is the dependency. Because I was one independent person. I'm not used to asking people for help to do things for me.
Yeah.
And then there's no privacy. The moment you become this, there's no privacy at all. So that almost took me to depression. And for a moment there, when now it hits you, you know what, actually, you've changed. The world around you has not changed. The stairs are still there. But it is me
who has changed.
How do I now go to adapting who I am? The adaptation is what was the challenge for me. And that is the point which almost took me to depression.
Right.
Yeah, the fact that, yeah.
Fridah, as I'm listening to you, what's actually coming to mind is I can only imagine all those things that you're going through, emotionally, psychologically, and all, and physically. There's so many physical changes. And then you are a breadwinner, and for temporarily that has been stopped. You're actually now a dependent. You need to get support. Is there anything in our medical system that supports somebody recovering from an accident like the one you had? You know, that's walking you through, there's the medical recovery, the physical recovery, the surgeries and all, and a doctor explaining to you this is what you need to do, and also then the psychological support that follows you through that journey. Do we have a structure like that in our systems medically?
In our systems, I will tell you, medically, and in fact, that is one area. Thank you for giving me opportunity to be here to talk about it. There's no that clear structure for recovery for people like us to guide us through. If you have had this, you are on wheelchair, to guide us, you go here and there, and this is what is happening next. For me, that is the disconnect, is that they never tell you. I will tell you for truth. If a doctor does for me an operation, they did, like the spine.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see the doctors as if they you don't want a blame later. They tell you, no, this is the level of percentage, your recovery percentage is past 20, of 10. They're supposed to tell you.
They're cagey with
especially
information.
when it comes to spine injury. I can tell you for truth. In spine injury, you know, the moment you get a spine injury, they tell you, you feel that you are glued in the wheelchair forever. But actually, they don't tell you there are different kind of spine injuries.
Right.
Whereby, and the level of recovery. If you are handled like this, if you take step like this first, if you do this, there is a chance that, one, you might even regain mobility, but not fully
Full mobility.
Full mobility. Did you have a complete spine injury?
Right.
They don't tell you.
So very cagey with
very
information.
cagey. For my case, I felt there was a disconnect because it took me like when I started now recovering and I feeling senses and I'm feeling, I go to doctors, I'm telling them, you know, I can still feel am I imagining?
I feel sensation in my legs.
And you know what I was told, majority of them, and when they told me I'm imagining, it's called a phantom leg, because the moment some people cut their legs, they still imagine they have their legs. And that disconnect, then later I come to realize, actually I did not have a full, complete spine tear. If there was recovery, if you're handled well, if you are told to sleep like this, your back does not bend, you know, are you handled like this? The doctor, they just do the surgery and they go. And they hand you over. They never tell you, if you sleep like this, stay like this. You see, you can see my back.
Yep.
It's not comprehensive care.
It is not comprehensive. There's no guidance to tell you A, B, C, D. This is how supposed to see. This is how they are supposed to handle. There's nothing.
You know, Mariam?
That for me, that's something that we need to know.
Thank you for highlighting that.
Yes.
Mariam, I was just saying, on Lenana Road, there's a hospital called the Spinal Injury Hospital. Okay? Yeah. And if you look at that facility, in fact, people just pass by there and you don't even know that, you know, there's a spinal injury, what do they do, and so on and so forth. You get in there and you can clearly see there are staff that work there, but that facility is not at the level it should be.
Should be, yeah.
Right? Because this is where you're talking about somebody like Fridah who's gone through an accident, they've had a spinal injury, and this is where they go through the rehabilitation and so on and so forth. If we don't think about such, if we don't think about how the health system walks through various patients in various stages at various levels, then we shall forever be like this.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that, Fridah, you're championing on that side and you're championing on the side of road safety, because it's all the way. There's road safety, accidents will happen. Now, the degree of accidents and the recovery from that point up to here is also something, an awareness issue.
Yeah.
So let me ask the question now from at that point in Maimahiu, accident has happened. There are passers-by who come in and they're rescuers. They're the first responders. You could hear them saying that these are among those that have passed on. And you're hearing. And then others come and start lifting you and saying, okay, oh, no, this one has not.
Yeah.
You are put in a pro box. You said you are put in just a vehicle and rushed to hospital. Looking back, that handling, was it appropriate?
Can I go back?
Yeah.
For me, what I hear is that what I've told you is a story and a testimony for people who are
there.
Because
you were
I had a serious head injury, which even rendered my memory a little hemorrhage for some time. The handling, because the handling, when you talk about, people don't know how to handle you, because for a moment past, even the spine was not fully, or the legs, but at that moment the handling, they are trying to rescue, but they don't know. Pengine lifting you up, putting you in the car, they are even making the matter worse. They're making the matter worse, and that is now where even we come about the idea of. For me, I came in with the idea that I wish after every, not even 100 kilometers, less than, there will be clinics on the roads, safety clinics, whereby there is an ambulance, there are medical personnel, NTSA, at least so that when they, like in other countries, firefighters, the moment there is an accident, you find all these cars running towards the place.
They are the first responders.
Not the
not
wananchi. I wish in our country we can have such a system whereby we can, within those kilometers, we can actually be having those clinics so that it can be better for everyone. I think they will save a lot of lives.
When I think about, I'm assuming this is this Maimahiu town or on the Maimahiu route to Naivasha?
Maimahiu to Kilgoris.
Maimahiu to Kilgoris. Yeah. No, then because I was trying to thread and think, what is the nearest hospital?
I was taking
Where were you
Kijabe.
Kijabe. Kijabe is quite far. Okay, from Maimahiu it's not far, but from...
The thing is,
depending on how far you...
How you access Kijabe from the Maimahiu side is different from how you access Kijabe from this other side.
That's very true.
Okay? Because that road is not done. To date, that road from the Maimahiu side towards Kijabe town, the Kijabe hospital, is a rough road. The other side of the road is at least a better road, but it's also a steep road.
Yeah.
And see, that's when Raphael Tuju had an accident, it was on the other side of the road, and he was also rushed first to Kijabe. So everybody around there, the first facility they go to is Kijabe. And that's what you're saying. Surely, that's a distance. You should be getting there as a referral from that clinic where trained medical personnel offered you that first assistance, the response and the first aid.
At the scene of the accident.
At that scene.
Yeah, that's where we should, that is now my idea, looking at the road safety, now going to it, that we should have these, not on major highways, some of them at least at a not far distance, kilometers, not hundreds far, because the accidents do occur. Every day. Every day they do it. They are claiming lives. And trust me, there are people who don't die immediately after the accident. They stay there waiting, and past they die even of bleeding, complications which come from the accident. So if we have these facilities on the highways, on the roads, which they can be fast response, they could help a lot of people. They could save a lot of lives. Lucky for me, I say I'm lucky. I'm alive. I'm not gone. But will save a lot of people.
You're absolutely right. And I think those two things can coexist. Even the Wananchi that came and saved you and carried you onto the pro box, they most likely did save your life, right?
They did. They did.
They may have done more damage while moving you in a way that's not appropriate, but there's no way they could have known. Again, we're not trained on first aid as civilians. So to appreciate that they did a wonderful thing, but they also stood in a gap that they didn't need to, ideally. Theirs was to call for help and to make a phone call and then have someone come in and do the work the way it's supposed to be done, right? A medical professional. But when we come back, I want to talk about how you're pushing for road safety, for these interventions in health as well. You're attacking from both sides, right? Let's see how much we can reduce accidents on our roads. Let's see what part we play in accidents on our roads. And then the healthcare system, how does it respond after the accident has happened? So we'll be threading on that when we come back in just a bit. Hashtag is Fixing the Nation NTV. We're in studio with Fridah Kirema. And of course, we'll be back discussing this in just a moment. Wacha tuingie maneno, of course, inclusivity as far as, of course, paraplegics in Kenya. And we're speaking with Fridah Kirema around that. And she's spoken to us about her journey, how she became paraplegic, a road accident that, of course, led to her having to use a wheelchair. And, of course, the fact that there could have been interventions made early on that would have maybe changed the course. I mean, there's no way to truly tell, but there are some interventions that, could have been made health-wise and even from a road safety perspective. And I want to start maybe threading from the road safety perspective. You've become a champion for road safety campaigns and awareness. The reason why is obvious, but what do you think are the biggest loopholes as far as our road safety is concerned? Is it infrastructure or is it people? Who is the problem in this system?
Infrastructure. Okay, talking from a perspective, because when you look at the reason they say there was an accident is past the pothole hit and the rolling of the tire burst and then roll. So for me, as much as it is a collective initiative, we all have to be collective, but our infrastructure sometimes fails because the maintenance, after building roads and constructing them, we should come back to maintain the roads so that at least we can reduce the accidents. So for me, the infrastructure, it's the first main thing that it should be there. Secondly, let's talk about the vehicles, the roadworthy. Are they roadworthy? Yeah, you find there are some which are not well maintained. Their tires, the bodies, they're not well maintained.
Yeah.
Come again to the drivers. Drivers on the people who are now the media of transportation.
Right.
The main people who play the part, the drivers. Are they skilled enough? Are they psychologically, sometimes now we have gone even mental health. You can be having drivers who have issues, psychological issues that they have, and yet they're on the road carrying people, transporting people, and you actually don't know that driver who is driving you has issues of their own.
Very true.
On their own. Are they trained to handle? Are they overworked with the companies that are the owners of the vehicles? So you find it is kind of a collective thing that if we were to look at it, we can reduce the accidents. Even the passengers, you never know, pass within ourselves. We should be speaking out. If you are in a vehicle and it is not well maintained, you have the right to speak. Well driven. You have to also say.
I'm sorry to laugh. A young Mariam once kept quiet while her phone fell through a hole in the bottom of the matatu.
I don't know.
Like, why didn't I say something before? Until we hit a bump, my phone falls. There's a hole in the bottom of the matatu.
It just went.
The phone went through. So
and the mat is moving.
The mat is moving. So I said, stop, my phone has fallen. Let's go back for it. We did go back, but by that time it had been run over by...
my goodness.
You see now.
That's Why are you in a vehicle that has a hole in the floor? And I'm not saying anything. Right.
That is what I'm saying. It is, we need to have a culture, a culture where we love life. For me, I always say I'm on second chance to life, given what I'm going through, what I've gone through. I also say Every second matters. So we should love life. If you are a driver, you are driving. If you are boda, I find people on motorbikes, boda, and somebody has no helmet, no gear behind there. The driver is just driving recklessly, and you are there just seated. You
talking
don't
on the phone. Some are on the phone.
Some things are it is your own responsibility as a person to actually feel, this is safety, this is my safety. Feel free to speak about it. Don't feel for me, even before the accident, drivers used to really hate carrying me, because anytime I see you're moving faster, I'll have to tell you, hey, I'll make a lot of noise. I tell you, I am not in a hurry to reach Nairobi. Nairobi is not moving. It's still the same place. So drive me carefully. So take responsibility. Please, when you see things which are not okay, let us speak up. Let us campaign. Again, if the roads are not well maintained, let us speak about it. It is our right to do so. So please love your life. Let us all have a collective initiative to make our roads safe.
I like that.
There's a lot that you've said, and you've packed into that. The National Transport and Safety Authority is actually mandated to look at safety from all aspects, and many times when you talk to NTSA, you talk to government officials, they will shift the blame back to road users. They say it's the behavior of road users. It's the behavior of the drivers. And that's why we want to have a crackdown on these vehicles and the drivers and so on and so forth. Seldom do we hear government taking responsibility for infrastructure. And I'm very big on that infrastructure. I argue all the time that if we had proper infrastructure, many of these things that we say about road user and road user behavior would be minimized, because we'd have proper infrastructure. How many kilometers of roads in this country are marked? Like there's a line here, this is the end of the road, this is the middle lane, this is the other. How many kilometers in this country are marked? How many kilometers in this country have proper lighting on the roads? How many kilometers can you drive from here and say, I counted 10 kilometers of a smooth road surface?
10.
Nasi Expressway. Watch a private road, because you're on the private. Public road. How many roads can you actually say, I drove for 10 kilometers on a smooth surface of our road? Infrastructure in this country, horrible. How many places do we actually have a road design that is following users? Human-centered design for roads. So this is where you're likely to have more people wanting to cross from this side to that side. So put a footbridge here, because it's next to a matatu, it's next to a market, it's next to. So a lot of this traffic will use the footbridge. If you take them 1 kilometer away,
they'll start crossing at the point of convenience.
I mean, I get livid every time I think about these things, because they cause these injuries. And then if we see the statistics that we have, we're even displaying them, 45% of spinal injuries in this country are as a result of road crashes.
45%.
45%. Now imagine that. Infrastructure is key. It's a big thing. And campaigning as you're doing, you need more voices, and we are glad that you come here. Use this platform, tell them, make the infrastructure work. Tell them, you're the ones who license drivers. How are you inspecting the drivers? You're the ones who license vehicles to be on the road, especially the passenger service vehicles. How does a passenger service vehicle that should have gone through inspection have a hole?
Right.
And I also say, we're emphasizing on that. Can we have even place? I mean, the road should be designed, give us the pedestrian pathways. Even me as a person with
two-wheelers,
a wheelchair, I can be wheeled without having to go crossing a deaf person. Can they have even people stationed to help people who are disabled, so that when we are crossing the road, there's a lot that we need to do.
Infrastructure that is also accessible is now the other big thing, and you've touched on some of those things. I think Our building codes right now do require accessibility. For older buildings, it can be,
They're also required
they're also
create.
to create accessibility, right? Aye, that's one. Then when you're thinking of new infrastructure, again, yes, do we have paths that allow for wheelchairs, right? Mobility like that. You've talked about also persons who may be deaf or who may be blind. That's just infrastructure that is responsive. I've seen it in places where it's even the way that pavements are made, right? They're easier to use with a cane.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Then you get to a stoplight, it's responsive, either with voice or something of the sort, so that you don't have to, think through or even have someone manning that. It's the world to adjust, not the other way around, right? When you think of accessibility gaps as far as Kenya is concerned, you've mentioned the way the roads are. You've mentioned that we don't have sidewalks that are wide enough, for example, for a wheelchair to pass, or any e-mobility device when you think about it. Even hata kama ni scooter, whatever it is. What other accessibility gaps exist that you may not have been aware of before 2012, but now you're like, come on, we need to do better?
For me, when housing, housing, I would say, for me, when I got my accident, I used to stay upstairs. Lucky, after that, one of my neighbors decided, okay, let's change the house. Let's come down.
So they swapped with you.
They swapped with me. God's grace for that person. And then the estate that I stay in, I won't mention the name, but it's the biggest is in Central Africa. Up to now, I try and tell them, please, can we have even a ramp, so that to my house, ramp, it's not far, first floor ramp, or even where the paveways, at least a place where I can walk with my wheelchair. I don't always have to have somebody lifting me up. They tell me the protocol to make changes is too high when, there's a lot of...
They always run to bureaucracy.
Yeah, bureaucracy. First of all, that's what I'm saying, housing. In other countries, I can say, what happens is that especially the public offices and buildings, I think it should be mandatory. The ramp should be given the first priority before the stairs in public. Because when you have a ramp, even a person who is walking, a person in wheelchair, blind, it's easy to. So they should say, in public buildings, when you are building them, let the ramp be the first priority so that it can take care. Or they make it sure that it is there. Be it in schools, be it in public. Because why I'm saying public, because private, it's private. People have their own preference of making their own building the way they want. But in other countries, what happens is that even the private sector, they are given incentives by government.
Yes.
They are told, if you will inclusion of persons with disability in your building, we will waive some, perhaps either tax or that. So that gives them the morale, the motivation to do the inclusion of persons with living with disability. So I will ask the government, perhaps in Kenya, to look into this when they are doing their planning, approving buildings, give incentives so that it can be inclusive. We are all now talking about inclusion for persons with disability. It's a term now that is there.
Yes.
But can we adapt it for real? Because policies like the bill which was signed, which was implemented 27th May 2025 bill. I can say if you go through that bill, it is awesome. But the fact is the implementation
is where things will...
The implementation of such bills, you find actually, minimally, they do. They are implemented to the core. Me, I'm the person one. When they are doing these bills, they don't even call policy makers, people who are disabled to make. Most of them are done by people who are able. And then now they are come to implement for people who are disabled. They don't come to us naturally. So for me, accessibility, the buildings.
The buildings, yeah.
Secondly, transportation. Trust me. I would tell you, if I'm to walk to a matatu or to anywhere to take a private vehicle, it is a challenge. The door, the sitting area,
There's
people to
nowhere to
assist
sit.
me through,
Yeah.
it is an issue. I would love.
I've
and
told Derek I've only seen one matatu ever in my life
That had
a space and it had a ramp as well. One.
that is now where I was coming to. I was saying every circle in Kenya. I'd written this and I was given a copyright about it. We should have at least 3 or 4 disabled friendly vehicles which have ramp. The doors, you know, the doors are it can fit the
Yes.
wheelchair, and then the people who are even drivers or conductors should be caregivers who are able to assist,
trained.
to be trained how to handle us. We should have, and this in other countries, I think we are behind that because there are even these buses. They have a way where you just go sit in my wheelchair and then I'm lifted up like a lift.
Right.
You know, we need to look at that as when coming to implementation of the transport system. Accessibility in schools. In schools, very few schools. I'm talking because I have a son, I'm a mother,
Yes.
proud mother.
Yes.
I've seen schools that I go to. There are some who is gone through, now he's in secondary. There are schools I won't mention. When you go, when he was in primary, I couldn't assess. You know, it's an issue, and I can't even go beyond that. They have to come down to take care of that. So for me, if you are talking about inclusion, let it start. Let people start from the grassroots.
Yes.
Let it be preached about inclusion. Be it vehicles. Our bills say we should be included in labor, in schools, in all that. But can we implement? Can somebody go there to check? These are called monitoring departments to go and see, is it true? Are these things being implemented from the grassroots up to the national level when you are including people with disability? So that accessibility, for me, it's that. Then I don't know if I was to speak about, say, pass even in medical.
Yep.
That's exactly, the
Where
next
you're going.
place, yes.
The next place, I would say, for me, I will advocate. I would advocate for the government to make the medical free for persons with disability. And not only because me, who you are seeing, I'm a person with disability, they are caregivers.
Right.
When you talk about caregivers, are mothers, are parents who have children with disability. A caregiver is a abled person. Government should look in a way whereby this person who is the guardian of the person who is disabled should also be given that free medical. Because everywhere I go, me, I have a caregiver. I'm always with my caregiver.
Right.
Caregiver. So we should, when we are talking about the medical cover to be free for the person who is disabled, let us at least give 2 provision for the person who is disabled and the person who caregiver.
And the caregiver.
The caregiver.
We talk a lot about the unpaid care and unpaid care work. Somebody who, for many times, you'll find that the person who is a caregiver for a person with disability is a family member, right? And that family member has, like you're saying, they are able and they'd be able to go and look for employment and be gainfully employed elsewhere, but they can't because they've got to be to give care to this person.
Right.
So they should be considered. I agree. I mean,
They should get the tax breaks, the
tax breaks
support,
and all. Plus, even when you say that we are giving that stipend, there's the living support, the social protection support to the person with disability.
They should get it
also
as well.
consider this other person because they have their life they're living.
Yeah.
This person has a family as well. This person has children to take to school and so on and so forth. But where are they going to get their income from to be able to support that?
You're absolutely right. I was going through the Persons with Disabilities Act, right? The one that we've spoken about. This was sponsored by Senator Crystal Asige.
Yeah.
One of one of my favorite legislations for this year. Some of the things it includes: the tax incentives and reliefs for employees with disabilities, tax exemptions on materials and equipment imported for use by persons with disabilities, tax incentives for donations and subsidies made for the benefits of those people. Then employers who incur costs to make reasonable accommodation for employees with disabilities benefit from exemptions. Now, that speaks to what you were saying earlier. Some of these changes that need to be made, they do come at a cost, right? When you're making your space more accessible for persons with disabilities, then of course it will cost some money. But there's also reprieve in that sense. It mandates public buildings, transports, and services must meet accessibility standards. Also has inclusive education, healthcare, and participation in rights for persons with disabilities. They must have access to education, healthcare, employment, and public life, right? That means even the rallies that we're seeing. That means Uhuru Park. That means all facets of public life. Now, these are impressive, and they do. The law does impose penalties for abuse and discriminations of persons with disabilities, but I do wonder, how we shall implement, because all those things are the things we have spoken about with you. Fair enough. This is it's a fairly young act. I think it was signed in May. Yes. The how is because had the previous Disability Act been implemented to to its full possibility before we moved to this one, because then we can say, you know what, we've exhausted this, we need to do better.
No, we're just enhancing because we've implemented this to this level, and then in the implementation we realized that we needed more. It was not in the implementation that we realized, it was in the lived experience of people with disability that it was realized that times are changing, and we still need to add on to all this. And I think some of those provisions, like giving those rebates to the private sector, is to incentivize and see, will it then make them actually do better? It's an incentive. So if you make reasonable provisions for persons with disability in your organization, then you get a certain level of rebate. And that will come into employment, into providing accessibility for them. And like you're saying, if you're employed and you have a caregiver, and the company is giving you medical support, then what's the company also doing too? Because you're not coming as alone. In many cases, you're coming with your caregiver as a package. Do organizations see that? Or do organizations just know, we hired Fridah?
That's it.
Fridah come and work. How Fridah gets to the office, how Fridah is facilitated through the office, how Fridah gets back home and is able to come back to work tomorrow,
that's
none of my business.
Right.
No, it should be your business.
It should be. But is this now your business in the sense of making the space work, or accommodating the caregiver, or both?
Both,
Fridah?
I think.
For me, I would love if they accommodate both. Let me tell you, even in hospital, there's a time my take is, when I go to hospital and I'm admitted, most of the time in my situation, because everyone's disability is unique to the person. And that is when we classify people with disability, we only put them as a cluster. Nobody goes to know. My needs as Fridah are totally different from another paraplegic person. Them, they might even not be needing a lot of things that I know I need. So it is very individualistic.
Right.
So when you go to hospital, I always have to have my caregiver with me, coming with me. And most of the hospitals, they tell you, yes, yours we can accommodate you, but the caregiver you have to pay. You have to pay. It's a bill on his own. So for me, I was saying, okay.
So for them just being there.
If they spend a night with you,
it's an extra bed.
In case that time needs, it's an extra for that. Well, and I was saying perhaps even we should be in government, because now we are talking about government and people, the public at large, not the private, because going to the private is my choice. Sometimes I just take it, okay, it is my choice. But in the public, I should always say, let them be given even a private room. People who are disabled, who are who must use a caregiver or somebody, guardian, to help them. They should be given a private room. That should be a priority. We should have free physiotherapy for them. And then we should have social workers. For me, I say it is from the grassroots. You're asking how can we implement this? I'm asking you, feeling how we're going to implement this. Because it is a good bill.
It is.
It is, if you read it. For me, from the national level, implementing it, it's so hard. For me, I will think going to the ward, whereby each person, MCA or a chief, should know the number of people who are disabled. What is their nature of disability? What is their requirement? If it's Fridah, what does she need? If somebody who's as a child who is Down syndrome, what do they need? So that we have a clear data. And that data from the MCA to the chief, having the requirements, will know, okay, these funds that we get from the National Council, when they go to Fridah, this is the amount she needs. Because she has even a caregiver to take care. Can the caregiver be given some amount to take care? Food, what? We should always have clear data of the person, the nature of disability, what is their requirement needed, so that when we come to disburse the funds, they actually go knowing the needs of that person are taken care of from the grassroots. So that if I called my ward, I come from Embakasi East, the person from the MCA there or the office of the ward, they know these are the number of my disabled people.
Let me ask
these
you,
are requirements.
if you don't register yourself as a person with disabilities with the National Council of Persons with Disabilities, will they find you? Is there any other way they'll know?
Now even there's a challenge. I'd say a challenge because the way they are put now, you have to go and register online so that you get the certificate which is online. Getting an inspection, you have to be inspected by a doctor.
And it's not just any doctor, yeah?
And my saddest thing is this. Since I have an NGO which deals with people with disability, I will tell you, the challenge that they tell me is that there's only one doctor, say, for example, Mama Lucy, who comes once a month, who has to inspect. They need to pay 1,000. Very few people can afford that.
1,000 shillings, yeah.
Yeah, 1,000.
Once a month.
So
I have to time
inspected. Yeah. Then we have, after inspection, I have to go to the cyber. You have to talk about even aiding them to do to the cyber, so that they can be able to get that online certificate, so that they can be put in the system. And after putting this in the system, what do they get? After a while.
Good question.
Yeah, I was asking caregivers. There's this money we are told caregivers should be given. Very few get. In fact, people have told me they've not even received anything yet from that. So when we are talking about this, I wish they can go, they can have social worker. These doctors can be free. They are the ones to go to them. For me, I was thinking that they should be assigned to go in a ward. They know there's one person there who is disabled, they cannot be able to reach. Go to them. Go to them, go social worker, coach, check what they need, put them in the system, and that will work.
I think this is a level 1 problem to me. A community health promoter should be this person in the wards, in the community, because they're the ones going door to door, checking on people. They're the ones who should be able to have those numbers of who has this disability, what is the disability, to what extent, who is their caregiver, and then are they registered with the National Council? There should be some form of coordination between these two. They're all government anyway, right? So that they can then get to the council. Because again, like you said, if I have to go to Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital, time the one day in a month that daktari will be there. And I hope that means there'll also likely be a line, right? It's not going to be a walk-in. It's a long line.
It's a long line.
It's a long line.
And then after that, lucky now they're saying we have to just upload on the system. We used to go up to National Council. You are on wheelchair, you need a caregiver, you need transportation to go there. You are a blind person, you are crossing Waiyaki Way, because it's always harder to go to the other side. You can actually imagine
How jarring that is.
It is not easy. So let us put in our class of our own, the most vulnerable in the society. Let the government come to us. Yes, we are advocating. Now I love making noise, just I used to love. I'm trying to have a voice. Let us have a voice to talk about our issues. Let us not shun away. Keep quiet. The moment we keep quiet, some hide their children in their houses.
Yeah.
Don't want to come out to them.
Yep.
Let us feel free to talk about our challenges, because the moment we talk about our challenges and I don't call them problems. If you say problem, it becomes
It's unsurmountable.
But if you say a challenge, there's the way you have the motivation to overcome the challenge. So for me, I say challenges. Let's talk about challenges. And you'll be so surprised, because these people are disabled. You're only talking about their problems. Trust me, they have abilities. I've seen blind people who are babas. I had an event the other day. You see a DJ, cerebral person doing DJ. In fact, you should bring them to the shows. You will be shocked. You'll be inspired beyond.
I think we really have a lot of work to do as a society.
Yes.
Because I don't think it should be like something of note that, this DJ has cerebral palsy or this blind person is a baba. It should just be life. But it's because we've made it... we're not inclusive, and we're not accommodating, that now anytime a person with disabilities does something, they are working against all odds. Then it becomes that much harder. But the more we mainstream this and the more we make our spaces inclusive and society as well, because it's also people's perception, then I think we'll get to that point where, I'm a baba first.
It's
and
normal.
then now we can talk about the cerebral palsy, but I'm a baba by profession.
It's
That's
normal.
it,
Yes.
And I'm doing the work and I'm professional about it.
It will look, it will not be a big thing. It will be just normal.
Yes.
Yeah, we will feel normal. Yes, we are challenged, different able, but we are actually part of the society.
Yeah.
And we are also contributing to the society.
Yes.
There's some women who are employers.
Yes.
So actually, I think for me, all I will take is, I always say, with enabling, disability is not inability. Let us not leave the word enabling, because we always say disability is not inability, but we forget to say with enabling.
Right.
Disability is not inability.
Eric, I know you have quite a number of things.
Now, I just want to read some comment here. Your sister Helen says, well done, my lovely small C's. I celebrate you and the people with disability today and always. And also she has to the Nation Media Group, my trophy goes to you for standing with my sister all through.
That is my support system. My sister.
When you talked about support system, this is it.
She's the one.
She is the one,
She's
Helen.
been there from the day one of accident with her daughter, sitting with me there and there. They have held me all through, and I'm so grateful. That's why I brought you the first thing, family.
Yes.
Family.
There she is,
and
Helen.
my son.
Still Mike the one also. Something he's asking, ask Fridah if by any chance she was at the National Spine Injury Referral Hospital from November to December 2022. If so, we were together on the recovery process and she has gone milestones ahead. Congratulations. Were you there?
I went there briefly.
Yeah.
I went for physio. And then I kept on talking to the people around. There are some people that I met to encourage them and all that. Yeah, and we spoke about it. Because spinal injury is just one in Kenya. There are many spinal injury people who are injured all over Kenya.
Very true.
So we should have roots. Yeah,
you're right.
Thank you.
So maybe actually mlikuwa na yeye anasema in the recovery process, but he says a big congratulations. Job Njiru is saying, if only the Ministry of Health was caring enough to have paramedics and ambulances ready for action in all counties that have black spots. I once shook an injured accident victim and she revived back. I'm assuming she was unconscious. But yeah, you're seeing like a lot of interventions that happen at accident scenes are just wananchi led, and that should really not be the case. And not just in black spots, because accidents happen everywhere. There's also the question of insurance. Did you have private insurance at the time when you had your accident?
I had private. That's another thing that it's good to speak about. Our private, we had the insurance, because I was in a vehicle which was comprehensive. So you expect the victims will actually be compensated after that. We go to the court and all that. Trust me, my case up to now, I've not been compensated. I'm just telling you the truth. We filed in 2015. It was filed in Naivasha. We went through. The case went through. But apparently, since with the driver was also my colleague, thought after the awards, it's the car is comprehensive, the insurance is supposed to pay. And I kept on telling people, even if your car is comprehensive, please go check your policy to get to know the actual factor. Details. Because after that, they only say, the insurer says it's only going to pay minimal amount of what the award. The rest is the driver to meet. But what did the driver do? He can't. He had to retaliate and do the appeal. But unfortunately, now that is where I will advise somebody, if in case the insurance refuses to pay the amount if you are under comprehensive car insurance, please appeal against the insurance company, because that is a policy. You're looking at your policy. Don't appeal to reduce the compensation of the people who are your passengers, because it affects us. In my case, that is what happened. The driver appealed to the insurance to reduce the compensation. So the case was thrown back to court. We've been battling it. And unfortunately, you never know. It will still go against it. And it is so bad because you don't want your fellow colleague also to be affected. So, yes, I was insured. The car is insured, but some cases take long. Up to now.
That's over 13 years ago.
Yes, I've not been compensated. We are still fighting for it. It is an issue. And I was telling perhaps the government should make local people who have had accident to have their own kind of hearing. We should not go through the same normal system.
Expedited hearing.
Yes, we should have, so that we can be compensated the fastest. Because trust me, the financial
because all that money actually goes towards your care.
The financial implication, it is not normal. The medical cover, even if I get from my employer, it is very minimal given that. I have to always enhance it. I have to enhance it.
At your own cost, of course?
At my own cost.
And your premiums are high.
You have expenses, you have caregiving, you have lot. So it is never enough. So that's why you see some of us wind up in debts. If you are lucky, you hang in there. But trust me, it is not an easy road.
Expenses are massive.
Massive.
Before we close.
There's Rosemary who says, Fridah, you're doing great. Your content in today's talk show is awakening and enlightening. Can this be taken further? Like, do you have bigger platforms and other platforms where you go and you speak and you engage? You talked about you have a network of, for example, people with disability, paraplegics, and so on and so forth. How many other instances do you get to interact with the community?
For my interaction in community, I already mentioned that given the challenges and what my experiences with people with disability, I started an NGO called Enabling Trend. I don't know if it's right to say, but my employer is told, okay, Enabling Trend. We have a website. It's
called Enabling
Trend.
Okay.
Enabling Trend. We have because of wanting people to do storytelling, we formed a Beyond Disability kind of a show, talk show, which we do have a YouTube. It is growing a little bit on TikTok and that. Then I also go engage the community, like now the outreach program which I had on 17th of October, which I met a lot of people with disability from all over, mostly Nairobi, within Nairobi. I'm also a patron of Paravolley team of Nairobi, the sitting volleyball team. We try and meet. Mine is not only on paraplegic. It is all some disability. That I have my representative. We team up, we talk, we see our problems. Challenge is even if we don't have donors, but the little that we have, we try and share. For me, it is from my own pocket.
Right.
I will tell you the truth. And well-wishers who give us the giveaways, food and all that. We reach out. And again, sometimes even counseling. When we talk to each other, we give each other moral support on those grounds. And we are hoping the other bit is employment. When it comes to, I'm hoping the Minister of Labor will actually implement the 5% that they say that every company should have to accommodate a person with disability. And this 5% should also look at caregivers. Because their parents, the way he said, their parents who are able, but now they are, because of their time, they are not able to go to work because they are taking care of them. They should, instead of now the disabled children, the parents should be given the chance they should be employed. Give them job so that they can be productive and they can be able to be breadwinners of their children. I will really, really love if the entire community, the entire society of Kenya come together, help, listen to the people, reach out to help, be it neighbors, be it what. For me, I've seen it is a challenge. I cannot even be able, me myself, with the networks that I have, to be able to meet the needs of those people. Sometimes it really pulls me down when somebody calls you and tells you, I have this, but I'm not able to meet. So I would love if we can all in the society.
Talk about all. Rosemary is also saying, thanks for remembering the caregivers. My daughter's caregiver for 14 years now. We are forgotten. You talk of insurance, admissions in hospitals, accessibility. What about facilities as well? Right? Do we have enough facilities that will take care of disabilities in this country?
I think we already have our answer. There's one spinal injury referral hospital.
We tried to build one, but we went, bring Zach home.
Yes.
There was a campaign called Bring Zach Home. This gentleman is a wheelchair.
Yes.
Money, we want to build it. I don't know. Up to date.
That was a citizens' initiative. This should be a state initiative that has, you can have the Nairobi one being the level 6 referral hospital, but have in every level 4 a section that is able to take care of, various different stages of disability, especially now when it comes to such things as spinal injury and so on and so forth.
We should, the way I keep on saying, majority of us, persons living with disability, we are not even able to go to reach to these facilities. I have members all in Isiolo, in Meru, in Eldoret. They are at home. They don't have to. I wish and pray that the National Council of People with Disability will form a network of social workers. We call them able caregivers now, who are employed to go kwa mashinani, we go there, get to know, reach out to them, help them. It is, and then the other thing, subsidize our products. We call them consumables. Diapers, catheters. Can the government, if I tell you, go to every shop. I've gone. I go do videos sometimes. The cheapest that you can get of pass even a diaper, it's 1,000. 1,000.
For a pack of how many?
10. Yeah. You see, we are looking. So it is very, very,
it's a
costly affair, which it's an outcry. For me, I would say it's an outcry now for the society, for the government, who are the machinery. In fact, they have the machinery to actually change everything. And give these people who are disabled, the companies, there are companies of persons who are disabled, to take care of their needs. Not able companies which come and escalate the what we call it, the prices of things that we need, so that it's so hard for us even to consume, or we just whine and even die with bed sores and all that.
There are people who are calling you Mama Moha.
I'm assuming these are your son's classmates.
My son's classmate. My
moms, their moms,
Their moms.
parents. Yes.
Yeah, Mama Muha. My son is called. He's a goalkeeper. He's been featured past once in a.
Yeah.
He's called Mama Muha. Is Muhammad Motom Yusuf. He's a Form 2. I'm shouting to Kabarak.
Students of 2M in Kabarak are watching.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah.
my baby.
Isaiah Mswahili is the one who has written on their
That
behalf.
is their class
Yes.
teacher.
Also, Mama JC, amekusalimia pia.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, she's saying she celebrates you.
Thank
This is
you.
really lovely. We're about to just close, but I wanted to ask just a last question on the language, because it shifts, and I want to know the importance. So we moved from disabled persons, from saying that to persons with disability. Now I'm seeing we're moving again to differently abled. Please explain.
You
the
know,
shift.
there was a time we talked about persons living with disability. Do you know that is when you are saying living, you know, when you talk about living is something very strong. It's like, you know, you are not able to get out of it. You know, it is living, it's something. It's like you are now, yeah. Then persons with disability. We tried to remove the word living, you know. Then we came, we noted, you know what? No, we have abilities. We actually can be something in the society. So let us change ourselves to now persons abled differently. Even if I'm a disabled person, yes, but I'm abled. I have abilities, but not that I can walk like you, but I can sing like, but I'm abled. Yeah, so that we change the whole picture about when people see you, oh, they're like, oh, yeah, you know, oh, they're sympathizing with you. No. When you see me, actually, this is Fridah, a child of an organization dealing with, that is a driver who is a disabled person. That is a baba who is we are abled differently. Yeah, not exactly the same as you, but actually we are abled, and we are also contributors of the society, and we need to be embraced and enabled. Thank you so
Fridah.
much.
That's a good way to wrap up the conversation. I love that we've gotten to spend time with you to understand some of the structural things we need to do to fix what is wrong with, for example, our roads, with our healthcare system, with our education system. And you've even spoken as a parent, and now I'm imagining as a student. You've said accessing your son's school can be hard.
Their school is good.
Theirs is good. Okay.
I can tell you, I was shocked when I took him to first Form 1.
That's good. Oh, this was in primary school.
Primary
now. That
was challenging.
Yeah, but now.
But now I was so shocked that
You
actually
are able
there's
to access all classes.
Yes, and also their school. Just a brief before you close. I'll talk about a university. When I went to do my masters, Kenyatta University, let me call it. Actually, they have ramps, but they made sure to cater for me. All the classes were down. They accommodated me. So it is not difficult to actually embrace.
And that's human-centric. Like you said, it's someone who's scheduling your classes, knowing you, and knowing what class to put you in.
My last message, let me talk about deaf. Just brief. Please, it is a language. Sign language is a language which is supposed to, it's like a language which is national language. In Kenya, it is mandated as a national language.
Yeah.
Can we please implement it to start from school? Let all kids learn sign language, just so that when we come to communicating, it will be easy, even if they found a deaf child. Please, government, implement this for us.
It's optional right now under CBE, but you're saying, yes, let's make it mandatory.
Make it mandatory.
It will be very, it's not difficult.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Coming up is Your World with Winnie Lubembe and Moikali. And today they are talking the final act where training meets the spotlight. They have several guests, including Victor Muyekwe, Prudence McKenna, Daniel Muturi, Irene Jerry, Gideon Kinyenje, Faith Sekei, Ndio Haote. They'll be coming up next on Your World and on Nation FM.
Of course,
Kama
it's
kawaida.
The 5 Shift with Claudia Naisabwa and, of course, Brian Aseli, 96.3 Nation FM. So keep listening, keep watching. We'll be back here tomorrow, or Top Off on Ground. surprise you. Wink, wink. Tupatane kesho. Asante sana Frida. And of course to our earlier guest, Dr. Kitui.